Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge of Friends. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're going to start with a computer network class and computer network class का जो आज का क्लास है आपका क्लास फर्स्ट है. इससे पहले हमने बहुत सारे आपके सब्जेक्ट्स कंप्लीट कर लिए हैं. अभी लास्ट जो कंप्लीट किया है वो वेब टेक्नोलॉजी कंप्लीट कर लिया है. उसके अलावा अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वी हैड डिस्कस्ड मैनी मोर दैट इज़ योर इन द सेंस दैट वी हैड डिस्कस्ड लाइक योर दैट इज़ अ फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथ्स एंड द रीजनिंग जो कि हम ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं. उसके अलावा भी हमने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर स्टार्ट कर दिया है, कंपाइलर शुरू कर दिया है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स अदर देन दैट वी हैड डन मैनी मोर सब्जेक्ट. यू कैन गो थ्रू विद द प्लेलिस्ट. You will be getting all the subject there. And this is the first class of the computer network, which is your class first. And today we'll start with the unit 1, that is your introduction concept. This is the name of the unit. First of all, it's a huge request to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video. अगर मैं कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क के कोड की बात करती हूँ तो AKTU के हिसाब से यहाँ पे जो कोड है वो NCS 601 है. एंड दैट इज़ इसमें आपके 5 यूनिट हैं, जिसमें पहला यूनिट आपका जो कि मैं स्टार्ट भी करूँगी, इंट्रोडक्शन कॉन्सेप्ट. सेकेंड यूनिट आपका है मीडियम एक्सेस सब लेयर. थर्ड यूनिट इज़ नेटवर्क लेयर. फोर्थ unit is transport layer and the fifth unit is application layer. So on that basis of the syllabus we will be discussing more detail, and in the last of this class I will be telling you deep कि हम लोग इंट्रोडक्शन कॉन्सेप्ट में क्या क्या टॉपिक कवर अप करने वाले हैं, एंड मीडियम एक्सेस सब लेयर में क्या कवर अप करने वाले हैं, नेटवर्क लेयर में क्या कवर अप करने वाले हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर में क्या कवर अप करने वाले हैं, एंड ऑफ कोर्स यूनिट फिफ्थ दैट इज़ एप्लीकेशन लेयर में भी हम क्या कवर अप करने वाले हैं. इसके साथ साथ कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क के साथ साथ हम AI भी शुरू करेंगे, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बिकॉज बहुत सारे बच्चों की रिक्वायरमेंट थी वो, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग भी हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं. सो इट्स अ ह्यूज रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड टू प्लीज़ गो थ्रू विद द सब्सक्राइब बटन एंड प्लीज़ लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब अवर चैनल. Now we'll start with this unit 1, that is the introduction concept. And in the introduction concept that you have to know very well about the goals and the application of the network, and from that we'll start with the different uses of computer network here. So here that we will discuss first that is your different uses of computer network. So the different uses of computer network that we will be discussing here, and for that first of all, major uses of the computer network, there are many, but yes, this has been asked of the 5 marks. So I will be explaining you the 3 uses that are used in the computer network, why it is used. So the broadly and the major use of this is, the first we have is your, that is business application. If you're making notes, I think you can make it notes, because this subject is a theory subject. So here you have to know, at least you have to understand each and every point, and you have to know about the headings, what it concludes of, so that you can just make, if you've gone through with this lectures, so you will be getting to know what you have to write in within this heading. But you have to know the headings first of all, that it let you get these marks, at least the 5 marks that has been asked for this question, that explain the different uses of the computer network. So the different uses of the computer network, the first is your business application, and the second is your home application. I will be discussing this in the detail as well, so don't worry about that. I will be explaining you each and everything. The third we have is your mobile computers. So these were the 3 different uses of the computer network here, and the major uses of a computer network, this is, the first is your business application, the second is your home application, and the third is your computer mobile computers. Before discussing these in detail, I will be telling you a sort of a client server model that is very important in respect to the computer network. So here that what we have is your this is a sort of let this be a client. Okay, this is your client 1, and this is your client 2. This is your client 2. Okay, so they both are connected to a network, because you have to know about it, or what is computer network, so that what I am making it. And this network is connected to a server. So this is a server. Okay, so these two clients were connected to a network, client 1 and client 2, and this network is connected to a server, and this is a client server model. Now we are going to discuss in detail this business application, home application, and the mobile computers. In the reference towards it, according to the business application, if I'm talking about, nowadays the computers are being used in almost all business processes. For example, the use of the computer to the monitor production, inventories, to make payments, that has been used. And the resource sharing is the most important purpose of using the computer network. Resources like programs, equipment, and the data are required to share the amongst various users. And database resources, that the database is required to access for the decision making by various departments. The database is maintained by the dedicated server and the user, that is your client, and that can access the data as well. And one server can provide the services to many clients, and the clients and the server in a network that has been I had shown you here. And the client request for a services, and the server acknowledge the request. The server performs the request work and sends back to the result. The communication medium, that the communication medium is a powerful medium and for communication, and email is very powerfully popularly used amongst the company employee, and video conferencing is the other form of the computer assisted communication. And electronic commerce, that is your many companies doing business electronically, and with the suppliers and the customers, and the customers can place order electronically, and this assures the fast delivery and the efficient services as well. So this comes under the business application. Now we'll discuss about the home application here. In the home application, that popular users of the computers in home are internet access, personal communication, internet entertainment, and electronic commerce. Surfing on internet may be the for fun, to acquire the information, and for playing the games. Information, that is information on every field is available on the internet, such as your art, science, technology, business, government, health, games, travel, music, cooking, etc. In the case of the home application, many newspapers are available online, and selected articles can be downloaded. Various magazines, scientific journals, ebooks, and available are online. Many professional organizations also provided their journals, conference processing online as well. And email, instant message, chatting, internet telephony, video phones, and of course provide personal communication by using the internet and www, that is the World Wide Web. Entertainment application includes the video on demand, interactive films and games, virtual reality games, and live television, where audience participating in, that is in the quiz show and showing amongst the contestants, etc. And e-commerce facilities, home shopping, catalogs of company product, online technical support. E-commerce also popularly employed for the bill for payment, banking, investment, and online auction as well. These were the users of home application. Now we'll discuss in detail, that is your mobile computer here. Now we'll discuss about the mobile computers here, that many professionals use the desktops or offices and want to be connected to the office network while traveling and at home also. And this is possible by wireless network, hence use of laptop and notepad computers and PDAs is increased, and with the help of the wireless network one can access the internet, read and send email on mobile computers. Now these were the users that we had discussed about it. Now we'll discuss about the goals of computer network. Goals of computer network. So in the case of the goals of computer network, there are many goals. we will discuss 6 to 7 goals near about. So that is the first goals of the computer network. The first goal is to provide sharing of resources such as information or processor. The second goal is to provide the inter-process communication among the user and the processor. The third goal is it's provide the network user with maximum performance at minimum cost. The fourth goal is it provides the centralized control for a geographical distributed system. The fifth goal is it provides the compatibility of the dissimilar equipment and software. That is software. And the sixth is that it provides the centralized management and allocation of the network resource. And the seventh is it provides the distribution of processing function. These were the 7 goals that we had discussed. You can just write it down, and even though if you're not making notes, so you can go through with that. But for this I will request, because ये theory subject है, you should make the notes, because while during examination you are not remembering everything. तो अगर आप notes बना रहे हो या सिर्फ headings भी लिख रहे हो with this concept, तो आपको सारी चीज़ें clear रहेंगी, because वो आपने सुना है, आपने वो पढ़ा है. Okay, so after that now we'll discuss about the network structure and architecture. Network structure and architecture में जैसा कि आप बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं, we have LAN, and then we have WAN, and we have MAN. There are many as well. We'll discuss these 3. So in the case of the LAN, if I'm talking about, so what LAN full form क्या होता है? That is your local area network. What is the full form of WAN? That is wide area network. And what is the full form of MAN? That is metropolitan area network. So now we will discuss each and everything in a detail. Now talking about the LAN here, this is, they can ask you explain LAN, explain WAN, or explain MAN, and many others they are. So in this case of the LAN here, that is the local area network, enables the stations to communicate directly using a communication physical medium on a point-to-point basis without any intermediate switch node being equipped. And for the LAN, a LAN is a system composed of the computer network and the transmission media and software. It is a privately owned network with a single building or campus of up to few kilometers in range. LAN generally uses only one type of a transmission medium that depends upon the physical and the cost of various topology used in LAN. That is your example LAN for that topologies that they are using for the LAN here. The LAN topologies they are using is, they are using those topologies that what we have is your star topology, bus topology, and of course the ring topology. So the basic idea of the LAN is to provide the easy access to the data terminal equipment, that is DTs, within the office. And these DTTs are not only computer but other devices such as your printer, plotters, electronic files, and databases. That local area network, if I am showing with a diagram here, then it would be sort of like this. This is a sort of a LAN, that is your local area network. Okay, so this is a local area network here, and the common forms of LAN are those described by the IEEE standard, that is 802, and the standard describes the operation up to the including OSI layer 2, and individuals may build what they like on the top of the basis protocol. And with these, a common set of the higher level protocol is called TCP/IP, which provide the OSI layer 3 and 4 functionalities. On the top of this may be found a set of a protocol commonly called Telnet protocol, where the LANs are capable of transmitting the data at a very fast rate, much faster than the data that can be transmitted over the telephone line. But the distance are limited, and there is also a limit on the number of the computer that can be attached to a single LAN here. Now we'll talk about the attributes of LAN. Attributes of LAN. In the case of the attributes of LAN here, there were that is we have four attributes. The first attribute we have is the LAN transmit the data among the user station. The second attribute is that the LAN transmission capacity is more than 1 Mbps. And the third attribute we have the LAN op channel is typically privately owned by the organization using the facility. And the fourth we have is that the geographical coverage of the LANs is limited to areas less than 5 square kilometer. Now we'll discuss about the second one that we have here, that is we had discussed LAN. Now we're going to discuss WAN. As I told you about that WAN is your that is your wide area network. This is all about LAN, that what we had discussed. And now we'll discuss about the WAN here. A WAN provides a long distance transmission of the data and voice, and a network that covers a large area such as the city, state, country, or the world is called wide area network, that we had talked about it. And here the WAN contains a host and the collections of machine. User program is installed on the host and machine, and all the hosts are connected by each other through the communication subnet, and subnet carries the message from the host to host. And that what we had discussed, even though the components of WAN were discussed in here that has been represented. So I will just discuss about the components of WAN here, that what we have to discuss as well. So this is a sort of a subnet. This is a sort of subnet. And this is connected to a these were the hosts. And here these were and here on the same side there were the LAN 2 as well. So this is a LAN 2. I will just write it down. LAN 2 है ये आपका LAN 1 है. ये जो आपके है, these were the host, and these were the routers, and this is all a subnet. And here that is also the LANs here, that is your LAN 3. LAN 3, and now it is connected, that is your LAN 4. That is, this is a sort of a line 4. So this is your wide area network. Okay, so this is a subnet. These were the routers, these were the hosts, and these were the LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, LAN 4, and this is all. And this is related to a wide area network. So here that the subnet consists of the transmission line and switching elements. The transmission line is used for the data transfer between the two machines. Switching elements are used for connecting the two transmission lines. Switching elements are so here with the regard of the connecting to transmission line, and that switching elements are specialized computer, and it selects a proper outgoing line for incoming data that forwards in the data of the lines as well. In the case of the WAN here, that the switching elements are basically the computers, and they are called the packet switching nodes and intermediate systems, and the data switching exchanges, and these switching elements are called the routers as well. In the WAN, when the packet is sent from one router router to the another via one or a more intermediate router. The packet is received at every intermediate router in its entirety, and this packet is stored in that router until the required output line is free. And the subnet, which uses the principal, is called a point-to-point and store and forward or a packet switch subnet. And almost all the WANs uses the stores and forward subnet as well. The WAN, that is a wide area network, uses the hierarchical addressing because they facilitate routing. Addressing is required to identify which network input is to be connected to which network output. Now we'll discuss about the third one, and that what we have is your MAN. That as I told you about the MAN here, that is the metropolitan area network, are the larger than LAN, but it is limited to a city or a group of nearby corporate office. It uses the similar technology of LAN, and in the MAN, that standard are sponsored by the IEEE, with the IEEE here and ANSI and other regional Bell operating companies. The MAN standard is organized around a topology and a technique called distributed queue dual bus, that is your DQDB, that is distributed queue dual bus here. And the regard of it, that MAN provides a transfer rate from 34 to 150 Mbps, and it is designed with two unidirectional that is buses, and each buses is independent of the other and is transfer to of traffic as well. And the topology that can be designed as an open bus or a closed configuration. With the MANs are based on the fiber optic transmission technology and provides the high speed interconnection between the sites, and it can support both the data and voice as well. The MAN as a spatial category is that standard has been adopted from from them, and of course for them, and this standard is now being implemented. It is called IEEE 802.6 that has been adopted. Now moving ahead, moreover here in the regard of it, discussing that explain the differences between the LAN and WAN. That is difference between LAN and WAN. Okay, so the differences between the LAN and WAN, which is very important, you can write it down. We will discuss 8 to 10 differences between LAN and WAN, and that is also an important one. In the terms of the LAN here, that it covers the small area, but for the WAN here, that WAN covers large geographical area. Okay, you can make your notes, you can write it down. The second one is the LAN operates on the principle of broadcasting, and for WAN operates on the principle of point of view, a point to point. Now the third differences we have is that for the LAN, that used for a time critical application, and for the WAN not used for the time critical application. The fourth difference we have is that the transmission speed is high, and for the WAN the transmission speed is low. And for the LAN here, that is your easy to design and maintain, and for the WAN that we have design and maintenance is not easy. For the LAN is broadcasting in nature, WAN is a point to point in nature. For the seventh differences we have for the LAN is that the transmission medium is coaxial or UTP cable, and for the WAN the transmission or the communication medium is PSTN or satellite link. The eighth difference for the LAN we have is that the LAN does not suffer from a propagational delay, and for the WAN suffers from propagational delay. So these were the 8 differences between that what we had discussed about it, and you can just gone through with that, and if you are writing and if you are making notes, then that is good for you as well. Now we'll discuss what do you mean by the service primitive, and the services primitive, that we'll discuss in detail, and that has been also asked for 5 marks here in the question paper. That is we'll discussing here is your service primitive. That is your service primitives here. In the service primitives, that shows the standard terminology for the interfacing with a layer or a service provider. So first we'll draw a sort of a diagram which that service it will show us like that. So this is user X, user Y. And for that it requests to SAP and it confirms response. This is your service provider, that is SAP. We can say that service access point. For this, for the user Y, this confirms, okay, and this is the response for this. So request confirm, so this response and it will give an indication. This is also comes under the SAP here. Okay, so this is a structure that is related to the service access point. Now we'll discuss the another one, that is your here it is user X. This is your user Y. With that it is requested and this is service provider and it goes to the indication. Okay, now for the another one, that it response then it confirms. Okay, so this is a sort of a diagram for the communication through the layer protocol that has been used. Now we'll discuss some of the detail in the service primitives here that you can go through with that. Services are formally specified by a set of primitive available to a user or the other entity to access the services, and for that we will be discussing about that is the serial number. Then we have a primitive here. So here with the record of it, that is your primitive. Then we have a meaning. So meaning you can write it down by your side. The first is your request. the request here, and that is for the meaning here, that is an entity wants the service to do some work. And the second one we have is your, that is confirm. In the confirm, the meaning is that by service provider to complete a function previously invoked by a request at that SAP. The third we have is your, that is indication. An indication meaning is that it informs about an event. That fourth we have is your response. So it is for the response, the meaning is an entity wants to respond to an event. Now with these all the primitives are implemented as software procedure calls, and when user application invokes a service provider function by sending a request to the next lower layer, and the service provider returns confirm for the request. And if the service is going to provide a function for the another user, the service provider must send an indication to Y, and after which Y is required to provide response. User X and Y are connected together by a layer service access point, that is SAPs. If you consider the service provider as a layer, the SAP contains the address of a specific service function. Service can be either confirmed or unconfirmed, and the request, an indication, a response, and a confirm are all in the confirmed services. Now talking about this, that connects and disconnects are the examples of the confirm and non-confirm services respectively. The protocols is a set of rules that governs the data communication, and the protocol is a pre-decided terms for the communication. Now I'll talk about the key benefits of the layered network and what do you mean by the service access point, and the two reasons for the using the layered protocol as well, that has been asked of the 5 marks, that is your 10 marks. So now first we'll discuss about the benefits of layered network, because the service access point we had discussed about it. So now we'll discuss about the benefits of layered network. So for the benefits of the layered network, if I'm talking about, there are many benefits, but we'll discuss more to 5 to 6 benefits of this. And the first benefit we have, that benefit of the layered network is that the reduction of the complexity of the design, development, and the maintenance. And the second is that the support variety of applicant based on the reduced number of the common interfaces. Third we have is that the flexibility in implementation. The fourth is that the possible to make changes on a layer without disturbing the other layer. And the fifth is that it allows the protocol designer to focus on each layer independently. The sixth is by defining a well understood interfaces between the layers and a given protocol layer that can be easily replaced with a different implementation as well. Now we'll discuss about the OSI reference model. The OSI reference model, which is very important, and that has been asked in every possible question paper, and that is of 5 marks, 10 marks, that it's totally depend upon them and then how they are making the question paper. So the OSI reference model, OSI reference model. This question they can ask you in the form of like discuss the services of each layer of the OSI reference model, list the various layers of the OSI model, that brief explain the working of each of them. So you have to detail all about. Now we'll discuss here, that is node A. This comes under is application. Then we have presentation, then we have session, then we have your transport, then we have network के बाद we have network as well, then network, and of course it will be network. Okay, so here that is in the node B, we have application, presentation, then we have session, then we have transport, then we have of course the network as it is mentioned here. Here we have your that is your data link, that is DLL same, and here data link. Then we have here is your that is your physical, here physical, and of course the physical. So now for that, they are layered structures, so they are in the form of the layered. So this is all. Now we'll go ahead with the connection here. This is your APTU, this is the 7th layer. Then this is your PPTU, this is 6th layer. Then we have SPTU, 5th layer. Then we have TPGU, that is your 4th layer. And the packet, this is your 3rd layer. And then we have your frame, 2nd layer. And of course the bit, that is your 1st layer. So this application layer is connected to application layer with protocol. This presentation layer is connected to presentation layer with protocol. The session layer has been connected to session layer of node B, and that is comes under in the terms of the protocol. The transport layer is connected to a transport layer of node B, that is in the terms of the protocol. And the network layer is connected to a network, and a network is connected to a network, and this network is connected to a network as well. And this data link layer is connected to DDL, this is connected to DDL, and this is connected to the data link layer. And of course the physical layer has been connected to physical to physical, and then physical to physical. These all layers is coming towards to connect it with the source internal protocol. And for this is a layer of OSI model. So in the terms of it, talking about this, what we have is in the OSI reference model, that is talking about the first, we'll talk about the layer 1, that is your physical layer in a detail. So here for the physical layer, physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model, and this layer transmits raw bits over a communication channel. And the design issues of the physical layer considers the 4-factor. There are electrical, mechanical, procedural attributes, and the functions attributes as well. And the electrical attributes that describes the voltage level or current level. The mechanical attribute distributes the connectors and the wires of the interfaces, and the functional attribute describes the function to be performed by the physical interface, and the procedural attributes describes what connector must do to the sequence of the events required to effect actual data transfer across the interface. Talking about the second layer, that is your data link layer here. In the terms of the data link layer, that is responsible for the transfer of the data over the channel, and that is it groups zeros and ones into the frames, and a frame is a series of a transmission error using the error connection method. And it also provides the data flow control to ensure that the DTD does not become overburdened, and it identifies the devices on the network as well. The third layer for the network layer here, that specifies the intra-network operation and different types of addressing and the routing services. Logical and services provide addressings are provided from network layer, and it is also provides switching control and terminal connection. The X25 specification is included in this layer. The next layer we have is your transport layer. In the transport layer is responsible for the reliable end-to-end data transfer and hence the optimum utilization of the network resource, and the transport layer performs the services of sending and receiving the segments of the data to the session layer, and it also provides the flow control, sequence numbering, and the message acknowledgement as well. Talking about the next layer that we have is session layer here. The session layer adds a mechanism to establish, maintain, synchronize, and manage communication between the network entities, and this layer has specific services, primitives, and protocol data unit which are defined in ISO as well. The next we have your presentation layer here. Presentation layer is responsible for the data compression, data expansion, data encryption, data decryption as well. It accepts the data type, and that is your int, character, and integer, character, etc. from application layer, and then negotiate with its peer layer and as a syntax representation. The next we have is your application layer, and this is the seventh layer that supports end user function like login, password, file transfer, and this layer contains the services elements to the support application that process as a job management, financial data exchange, and business data exchange, and this layer also supports the virtual terminal and the virtual file concept as well. So after this, this is all about the OSI layer here, a representation that they can ask you and you can just brief it out. And after that, they can ask you which OSI layer handles each of the following, like the following is your framing and routing, and with regard of it we'll discuss here. Now here we'll discuss about which OSI layer handles each of the following, like we'll discuss about framing, and then we'll discuss about routing as well, and that has been asked of 5 marks in each and individual, 2.5 each. So framing is handled by the data link layer of OSI model, and the data link layer needs to pack bits into the frame so that in each here, that is in each place, that is each frame is distinguished from the another, and the data link layer prepares a packet for the transport across the local media by encapsulating it with the header and a trailer that to create a frame. For the routing purpose here, that is the routing is a performed network layer of the OSI model. The main function of the network layer is to route packets from source to destination, and to accomplish this route through the network must be selected, and generally more than one route is possible, and the selection of the route is generally based on some performance criteria, and the simplest criteria is to choose the shortest route through the network, and the shortest route means a route that passes through the at least a number of nodes, and the shortest route selection results in the least number of the hops per packet, and a routing algorithm is designed to perform this task, and the routing algorithm is a part of a network layer software as well. Now we'll discuss about what is OSI model that we had discussed here, and explain the functions and the protocols of the services of each layer, that what we have to discuss here, and that is your the functions and protocol. Functions and protocols. So the functions and protocol here, we'll discuss the layer functions and protocols. So in that case, the OSI model, a standard that specifies a conceptual model called open system interconnection, that is OSI network reference model, and which not specify the communication standard or the protocol to be used to perform networking tasks. So जिनको OSI का full form नहीं पता, you can write it down, and that is your open system interconnection and network reference model, that is the full name. So now we'll discuss functions and a protocol here, that is your layers we'll discuss here. Then we'll discuss the function, and of course then we will discuss the protocol. So functions I will be telling you, you can write it down, and the layer and the protocol I will be writing it out. Okay, so here we'll discuss this in detail. So the first we have a layer, that is your application layer. For application layer, the functions, if I'm talking about, there are 3 functions. That is, the first function is that used for applications specifically written to run over the network. The second function is that allows the access to the network services that supports application. The third is that directly represent the services that directly supports the user application. Now talking about the protocols here. So the first protocol we have here is your DNS, FTP, TFTP, BOOTP, SNMP, RLogin, SMTP, MIME, NFS, and Telnet. Then we have here is your presentation layer. Presentation layer की बात करते हैं. So there are three functions as well, and the first function we have that translate from application to the network format. The second function we have is all different formats from all source made into the common uniform format that rest of the OSI model can understand. And the third function we have that responsible for the protocol conversion, character conversion, data encryption, decryption, data compression as well. In the terms of the protocol, if I'm talking about for the presentation layer that we have is your that is SMB and NCP. Now we'll talk about the another layer, that is we have your session layer. In the case of the session layer here, that also have three functions. That is, the first function is to establish, the manipulate, maintains and ends a session across the network. The second function is responsible for name recognition, and the third is to provide asynchronous services by planning checkpoints in the data stream. And for the protocol that is used for the session layer, we have here is your the first is your NetBIOS and RPC. Now for the next layer we'll talk about, that is your transport layer. That is your transport layer here, and that is the functions that are used as there are also two functions, and that is, the first function is that manages the flow control of the network between the parties across the network, and the second is that provides the error checking to guarantee error free data delivery. And the protocol that what we that is using is your TCP and UDP. So talking about the next layer here, after the transport layer we have your network layer. For the network layer, if I am talking about, so that network layer we have here that is before networking layer we have two more transport layer functions. First is to manage the flow control of the data between the parties across the network. The second is to provide error checking to guarantee error free data delivery. But the third is to provide the acknowledgement of the successful transmission, request retransmission if some packets don't arrive error free. And the fourth transport function we have is that to provide flow control and the error handling as well. For the network layer, as I told you about, there are the two functions. That is, the first that to translate logical network address and the names to their physical address, and the second is it is responsible for addressing, determining routes for sending and managing the network problem. And the protocol that has been used here is your that comes under your that is your IP, ARP, RARP, and then of course that is ICMP, RIP, and of course that is OSFP. This comes under the network layer. Now we'll talk about the another layer, that is your data link layer. Data link layer. And for the data link layer here, that is, we have three functions. That is responsible for the error free transfer of frames, the second function flow control, and the third is for framing. And that protocols we have here that has been used is your LLC and HDLC here. Now we'll talk about the next layer and the last layer, that what we have is your that is the physical layer. So the physical layer here, and that is we have functions. So here we have four functions. The first function is that define electrical and mechanical function. The second function is that transmits the raw bit stream over the physical cable. The third transmission is that the third function of physical layer we have is that to defines cables, cards and physical aspect. And the fourth is that defines the technique to transfer bit stream to cable. Now talking about the protocols here, that what we have is your IEEE 802 and IEEE 802.2 and ISO 2110 and ISDN. So these were the protocol that has been used here and in the terms of it, and that what we have to utilize, and that has to be implemented here. You can just make a notes and you can just write it on at least these things, because everything you can't remember when you are giving examination, when you have your examination. So for that sake I had told you about it. Now talking about discuss the design issues of the layered architecture of the data communication. So that we have to discuss here, and that is your design issues for layered architecture of data communication. Now we'll discuss about it. This has also been asked of 5 marks here. So the computer network is designed around the concept of the layer protocol or a function for exchange of the data between the computer terminals or the other data processing devices. There is data path between the two computers, either directly or via the communication network as well. The following factors that should be considered is that the first is that the source system must either activate the direct data communication path or inform the communication network to the identity of the desired destination system. And the second factor we have is that provide for standard interface between the network functions. And the third is to provide for symmetry in the functions performed at each node in the network, and each layer performed the same function as its counterpart in the other node of the network. The network software is now highly structured, and that we had discussed about it, and we'll be ending it class here only, because it will be near about that is of 1 hour. So we'll discuss more in the next topic, that is that is unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3 in the next coming classes. So in the unit 1, what we have to cover up and what we had covered up till the first class as well, what we had started with. So then in the first unit, that is the introduction concept, we have to cover up the goals and the applications of network that we had discussed about it, and network structure and architecture वो भी हम complete कर चुके हैं, and the OSI references model वो भी हम complete आज की date में कर चुके हैं. But the next we'll discuss is the services, network topology design, delay analysis, backbone design, local access network design, physical layer, transmission media, and of course the switching method, ISDN, terminal handling. That we'll discuss in the next coming classes. And then after that, in the unit 2, we have to discuss about the medium access sublayer, channel allocation, LAN protocol, Aloha protocol, overview of the IEEE standards and FDDI, and data link layer, elementary data link protocol, site link window protocol, error handling. And in the unit 3rd, we have to cover up the network layer, that is your network layer, point-to-point network, routing, congestions control, inter-networking, TCP, IP protocol packets, IP address, IPv6. Then after that, in the unit 4, we have to cover up the transport layer, that is the transport layer, design issues, connection management, sessions layer, design issues, remote procedure call, presenting layer, design issues, data compressions technique, technology, and TCP window management. In the unit 5, we have to cover up the application layer, that is your application layer, file transfer, access and management, electronic mail and virtual terminals, other application examples, network, and like internet and a public network. That we have to discuss in the next coming class here. So here we will be ending up with this classes, and so thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on a comment box. Please like, share and subscribe our channel, and please go through with the subscribe button if you had not subscribed our channel, as we had covered up many of the topics in the reference towards the web technology. We had end up, we'll start with artificial intelligence, and we are doing your computer network आज से हमने start कर दिया है, and reasoning के भी हम already 178 classes 179 classes कर चुके हैं आज की डेट में, and you can gone through with that as well. You will be providing all the competition paper के जितने भी questions and more than that even though, जिसमें हमने verbal reasoning complete कर दिया है, जिसमें हमने डिस्कस किया था general mental ability और logic reasoning, and after that we had started with a verbal non verbal reasoning, जिसमें कि हम series topic कर रहे हैं, जिसमें मैंने आपको already बता दिया था कि we'll discuss more than the 1000 questions there as well. You can gone through with that, and within this first unit we have to start with the next coming unit. We have to discuss about the services in the next coming classes, the network topology design, delay analysis, backbone design, local access network design, physical layer transmission media to the switching method, ISDN terminals handling, that we have to discuss here. And thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on the comment box. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.